What's going on YouTube? How's it going? This is your boy the Seafood coming at you with another video of Law, of course, because we just love Law over here. We just can't stop playing them. And looking at the OP05 meta, we're still going to be going strong into Law. As you can see, we're playing against Sakazuki here. We actually opened up pretty good against Sakazuki, not too bad. Got us a lot of one drops, a lot of potential that we can have here. He's got to have his Sakaluchi to go ahead and make sure that he's going to be able to clear my board, but Law's still pretty good in OP05. Law's just strong. Law just don't stop. He ain't never gonna stop. That ban was the only thing to stop him, but luckily they're lifting that. He's gonna go right back to full power, which means he is going to be a problem because every other version of him just was not working out. He was just not gonna survive. Everything in the meta was just giving him a hard time. And it just seemed like it wasn't the deck to play anymore. You know, the Whitebeard mix was cool. You know, Otama Vista being searchable is cool. But it just doesn't give you that same sense of consistency, same sense of overwhelming power that you're going to get to your opponent like the just good old fashioned version does. You just love to see that. But at any rate, we're going to go ahead and go into the rest of the video. He's going to go ahead and do some Sakazuki things. Go ahead and pop my Law, my blocker. That's fine. You know, I'm just going to go ahead and keep on searching. Just keep swimming, just keep swimming. It's really just a play Law versus Sakazuki. You just gotta keep on having what you need on board, and just really, if you got enough swingers, you're good, because they're just gonna have to keep trying to pop your board. And if you can just keep rebuilding it, then well, I guess you're winning. So luckily, I was able to do such as and just keep on keeping on. You know, even though he just kept on consistently turn for turn, just KOing my board left and right, just yak. See here, he goes down, throws another Lucci. I lose 2 more of my units. Ouch. I could have went ahead and saved the Zoro and then had another 2 units on the field, but again, it's Law. Law does Law things. We ain't even stopped, you know. Looks like we're still just pushing forward, you know what I mean? That's all you really gotta do. You just gotta keep pushing forward. Even when they just get rid of all your stuff, you just shambles it all back and just keep on keeping on. You know, this just seems like the thing to do. Unfortunately, I did whiff with the second Nami. That sucks. Wasn't appreciating that whatsoever. It's all good. We're still in the game. Opponent's just doing his normal shenanigan things, searching. Go ahead, dropping a Hound's Blaze. I thought that was pretty interesting that he decided to get rid of that card in particular instead of keeping it in his hand. He could have very easily got rid of something on my board. I don't think that was a play for him, but what do I know? I'm just a lone Law player, lawing. I went ahead and blocked that because I like to keep these 2 lives, and there's no sense in me taking them. And I'm just going to go for him. Just keep going at his throat here. There's no sense to try and take out his creatures. I think that'd just be a waste of time and cards, especially since I felt as if I had so much in the hand already and so much that I could work with to defend myself. I felt like if I put him in a position where he had to deal with my board instead of him being able to deal with my life, I was going to be doing pretty good. And he's out of life and pretty much out of resources, and that's game. And we're just going to go ahead and move on to the next one. We go ahead and find another Sakaluchi player. These guys are everywhere. It's like you cannot get on the sim right now without seeing Sakaluchi. Alright, that's what I call it. I call it Sakaluchi because that's all it is. They just sack you with Lucci. Sakaluchi. That's what it is. I don't even think the name needs another name. You just get sacked with Lucci. Anyway, Sakaluchi gonna go ahead and get started. Looks like he's playing some sort of Death Roaster package, which thought pretty interesting. Rest your leader to go ahead and pop one of my cards. I think that's a little overkill if you ask me. It's doing too much. I also think that he was playing an outdated version of the deck, the last guy, because the newer versions don't run the field spell. There's no need for it. Pretty busted card, that Mihawk. Mihawk just gonna make Law all the much more stronger, all the much more better when it comes out. I'm so ready for that Mihawk. I cannot wait to get it. I am going to go his am with it. As you can see, it allows me to summon out the X-Drake. The X-Drake should have been rested, which would have actually been okay, because I would have put a Dawn on X-Drake and swung 6 with my leader, which would have been the same thing if I would have gave the Dawn to my lead. But, you know, what else? Then, yeah, I think he pops the X-Drake on this turn. Yeah, he pops the X-Drake, because nobody wants the X-Drake on the board. Nobody wants that X-Drake. That X-Drake is just a problem. You don't even realize it's a problem until you're just like, oh, he's got 3 Supernovas on board. And I don't know what happened there, but I think he just realized that he misplayed or just did something incorrectly, and it's just like, okay. GG's no Reese. I'll accept it. I'm not mad at it. I don't even know what to say to that one. I guess we're just moving on to the next one. And then we go ahead and we find us a Kaido. Good old Kaido. Blue purple. Pretty good. He's got some good cards. I think he gets a little bit better in OP05. I don't know if he's still quite a contender, but you know, he's still pretty good. He opens up with the field spell. I'm pretty sure that's why you keep the hand. Whenever you see that, you just automatically keep whatever hand it is. Doesn't matter, you just gotta take it. I just start doing my normal law shenanigans, board building, playing Brook, because cheating out monsters in law is just really, really good, especially when you go ahead and just spin off for your Dawn and get 2 creatures out. Spin 4 for 5. You know, it's just what law does. It just takes advantage of Dawn. You just have more Dawn than your opponent. It's just what it is. You're like a 13 Dawn leader. Why not? So might as well get max value. A lot of cards in the hand, a lot of cards to play with. I'm not really sure what I do at this time. I think I just go Bonnie, search. Yeah. Whiff! That's all good. That happens. I sat here for a second because I was just like, I'm pretty sure I just played Nami, and then I realized, oh no, I played Bonnie. No, because I was going to get out of the Brook and do a little bit of shamblings with Brook. But that did not happen. So instead, I decide just going to go ahead and swing. Then shambles out. Summon the law, bring back the Bonnie, summon Zoro, swing 6. You know, usual law stuff. You know, the law shenanigans. The reason why people were just like, God, we loved it when this deck was dead. It's back to life again. Yeah, it's like that way. I mean, you know, they did it to Whitebeard. Except when they did it to Whitebeard, it was just like Whitebeard had an optional way to play outside of how it normally played. Law just does not have that option. Like, you take away Nami, you take away Curly Sedan, Law is severely lacking. It's very hurt. It's very, very hurt. And here I'm thinking, like, do I want to get rid of this Zoro? I got 2 Zoros. Maybe better if I swing with multiple Zoros. But then I thought I got a Brook on the field too, so I guess I give up this Zoro. I don't really have to counter out for that. No, I just do the block because I realized that he doesn't have 10 Dawn yet, so he's not going to be able to 10 drop Kaido me. So I want to get the most out of these 5k swings that I possibly could. Now I remember, yeah. I think he swings higher than draft. Yeah, he swings high. I'm just like, okay, well, if you're going to do that, you just definitely have it then. It's all you. Then he goes ahead and plays the Queen, and I get another Zoro. So I'm going to Zoro this man down. He's on Z Street. He goes ahead and uses the blocker. I'm like, cool. I'm just gonna go ahead and go 5-5, all up in your face. I think right here I'm debating if I want to play the Zoro, but nah. I'm like, nah, I should definitely play this Bonnie first. And so I do. But if I would have played the Zoro, I would have had just enough for these shambles. And I still play the Zoro anyway. I could have put that 1 Dawn onto the Zoro. I don't know what I was thinking with that 1 Dawn. I just left that there. I think I just passed with the 1 up. Just gonna bluff my opponent with the 1 Dawn up. You know, make him think that I got the Rat Beam. Because it's always cool to make your opponent think that you have the Rat Beam. He starts to swing, and he swings with no Dawn investment, which is clear tell that he has the 10 drop Kaido. And he decides what to do here. And once I see him attack with anything else on the field, I know he has the 10 drop Kaido at this point in time. It's like not even a question, bro. You gotta have it. Like, he goes in, swings at the Zoro, I protect. I think he swings again, no Dawn investment in life. I go ahead and take. And there we go, 10 drop Kaido, like on my board. And then I very excitingly just decide, you know what, let me rebuild this. Bink, 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 bink. 4 drop, summon another 2 drop, bang bang. Jesus Louises, do I love this deck. It's just ridiculous. Ridiculous. And now he's in a tough position. Not going to be able to drop another 10 drop. It's not really going to be beneficial or help him. He just decides to go at face. I'm like, I'll take. Like, use cards. Decides to go at face again. I'll set him with a block. Summon Uta. Pretty good Uta. Pretty good for blue. I thought that was a pretty good addition for them, having a card that just says if your leader is multicolored. So if it just includes blue and something else, you can go ahead and use that card. It's pretty good. It's pretty dang good. Let's go at 7. Go 7 again. Take the last life. And at this point in time, I'm just like, all right, well, this is game, because you just allowed yourself to take all those 7s to the face. You got no life. You're not even worried about a Luffy, which is in fact in my hand. So at this point, I'm just pretty much like, hey, this is checkmate. You know, GG's. I think I arrogantly tapped that in a chat too, because I'm toxic as all heck. Yeah, he summons a queen. Queen comes down. He goes at the throat of Kaido. I say no, sir. I think he tries to go high again with the leader Kaido, and it does not pan out for him, I do believe. Let's see what he decides to do here. I think, yeah, he was heavily thinking on what his next move should be, and I think at this point he was just like, yeah, I just got to go super high life and then try and go in here, and I think that's what his thought process was, but clearly it didn't work out for him as he was hoping. So I just went ahead and just didn't even use Bonnie. I just go ahead and put all my Dawn onto the unblockable Luffy and just go in. That's enough to win me the game. Again, Law, too strong. Just way too strong. It's just good. It's good. I do believe that this Luffy player cooks me though. I think that I get got by him simply because I was playing arrogantly, and I think I just does this guy get me? We're about to find out. We're gonna find out together. Anyway, let's go ahead. Spoiler alert. I go ahead and throw those 2 down. He's deciding what he should do, how he should swing. Gives me 5. I'll take. Summons a Zoro. Decides not to swing. I thought that was pretty interesting. Especially since he could have put it down on Zoro. I actually also think he never used his leader ability during this game. Oh yeah, I quit because I whiffed him. Because I was just like, man, forget all that. And then I'm going against Lucci. Now against the Lucci player, there is a critical error. Again, spoiler alert, I do not win this one. Only because I make a critical error at the end of the game by not attacking creatures. Instead, I start attacking life, refilling his hand, and allowing him to be able to just, go in my throat. And I play X-Drake. The X-Drake immediately gets dealt with. Oh no, that's it. That's not in this game. It's not in this game that the X-Drake is dealt with. No, he still does deal with the X-Drake, but how he deals with it is what grinds my gears. Because right here, another critical error is that I should have just went swing 7 X-Drake, swing 7 lead, but instead I decide to opt out of doing that and I lose the X-Drake. And that was very unfortunate because I feel like that could have really swung the tempo of this game in my favor. And because I didn't do that, I think I fall really far behind at this point. Because again, those 7 swings would really have put in work. And because I decided not to, definitely get hard punished for it. And I don't destroy the blocker because I didn't want to destroy the blocker, which is why I didn't mind swinging with 5s. I swung with 6 because I thought that he more than likely would give me cards out of hand instead of cards out of his grave, because I know that there's nothing really in his grave that he could capitalize with off of that. So there goes the Lucci, which only makes sense. It's searchable in the deck. It's a really good card for the deck. It makes it really consistent. I think the only reason that it's not seeing as much play is because it's being overshadowed by Sakazuki, which is being able to use blue cards, which is just what makes the deck insanely busted.
And here is where I make my major misplay. I decide, and board building wasn't the misplay, but attacking life was the misplay, and replenishing his cards instead of just taking cards from him. I give him cards, which he very clearly was going to take. He just wanted those. I really should have just been swinging at his creatures, making sure he didn't have anything in hand or anything on field to capitalize with or come back at me with. And because I decided to go for throats, he actually just gets it. He just has all the cards. And I don't have enough blockers to defend myself. I don't know what I was thinking with that last move. Again, if I would have just swung at his creatures and cleared his board, don't think I would have been in a position to where I would have lost the game. But you live, you learn, you play on. And then I play this red and yellow, which at first I was just like, oh, okay, see how this goes. And I get sacked, kapow. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I see you. Go ahead and attack it for one. And he gets a trigger, and I'm like, oh wow, this guy's really good. This guy's really good. So then I just start board building. Just go ahead and just plays another one. I'm like, okay, this guy's serious. This guy's really serious. He is very committed to make sure I don't have a board. And then I just go ahead and start the shamblings process because I don't have anything. And he just keeps playing creatures that just do really sick things. Like this revolutionary army monster that decreases your leader by $1,000. It's pretty busted. When you can boost your characters by that much too, and just go in. I did not see this coming at all. And I make a terrible misplay here because I'm just like, what can this guy possibly do, right? He's just got these little creatures. They can't do anything. They can't hurt me. I'll be okay. So I just start getting rid of the smaller units, so I ain't got to worry about them because, again, those things were getting at my throats. They were brutal. I try swinging at his creatures because I just want those off board. I don't want to give him any more cards in his hand. I want to make sure that he does not have as many swingers on the back end as he does. And I think here I established the X-Drake, which wasn't bad, but I could have went for another Zorro, which would have taken another card out of his hand, which might have been a little bit more beneficial for me. And then he just does this really just crazy play that just completely threw me off. And I'm looking like, holy crap, he just minus my leader by 3. Peas and rice. This way I'm just like, peas and rice, how do I comply? Because this guy's going at me. And he doesn't kill me there. I thought he didn't have another swing. So I'm just like, thank Christ. I believe here is where I conclude the game because he can't defend himself. I just go, everything on lead, everything on Zorro, swing 12, good game. Thank you for playing, sir. It was fun. Then we have the Luffy. The last game I do believe that I play. And this was a pretty interesting game too. Luffy didn't take any of his life because I think he knew that that's not the play against Law, especially if you don't open up with the correct cards in hand. Oh, he does take his life. He does take life. I don't think that was necessarily the right move. I'm not saying it's the wrong move, but I think that versus Law, you want to use that leader ability, but you don't want to get too greedy with it because Law will definitely just go at your throat. And then that Mihawk coming down perfectly. This is the only time that I'm ever seen this Mihawk get off like this. I usually don't even have the Brook and the Mihawk in hand, but that felt really good. That felt insanely good to do, to just go ahead and play 4 units for the cost of 3. I mean, I have 4 Dawn, but I used all 4 Dawn to play 4 units, and they were high cost units too, so I just got a lot of Dawn for free. Like, this deck, it just becomes insanely insane next format. Just overpowered as all heck. I think these Mihawks with the X-Drake are just the bee's knees. Just cheat out an X-Drake for the turn and be able to just swing high with creatures next turn because you just apply so much pressure on board. It's just really, really good. And yeah, this Luffy player plays the Magellan. Magellan didn't really do too much work. It doesn't really do work against Law that much, especially since we just resource our Dawn already so perfectly. It's just like
okay, I'll take that -2. Like right here, I'm just like, all right, I'll just minus the 2 that I just put on him and keep it pushing. You know what I mean? Like, I'm law, bro. I already got a board. I don't really need more Dawn. Like, I got what I need. So, I'll just go ahead and just, do my law thing. Swing, swing, swing. Shambles, swing. Went ahead and went pretty high with this Zoro. Yeah, I swing 7 with the Zoro. I'm like, you're really going to take it or give me 2 cards. And he took. And so I'm like, either he has no 2Ks or he has a handful of things he can use to save himself. And of course he drops 1 2K and 1K. So he had the ability to counter out, he just chose not to, which was not the play, because again, players should be always mindful of a rush unblockable Luffy. You should never ever assume your opponent does not have that card. I think that was just bad on his half to just go ahead and take that last life, because very clearly I just go ahead and use leader ability, summon the Luffy, and just swing for game. Like, there was really no point doing much else than that. But that is